Good morning, John. Yeah, we do have some new numbers from the IMF as they nudge growth up around the world. Not everywhere, though. The United States not doing as well in 2023 as they had thought. But here are the numbers. The world growth is going to come in about 0.2 higher in 2023, 3%. U.S., though, is only at 1.8%. And look what happens in 2024, a real slowdown. Talk about diverging growth, because the rest of the world grows faster for the most part. China a little bit slower, but for the most part, the rest of the world is going to grow faster in 2024, according to the IMF. Now, does anybody care what the IMF thinks? Not down at 20th and C Street. The Fed is going to make its own decisions about what's happening. But here's the difference between what the IMF sees for the U.S. economy and the Fed. And I threw in the Bloomberg Economist survey from earlier this month. And you can see the IMF is much more optimistic about the U.S. for 2023 and about the same for 2024 as the Fed. But the economists are more optimistic and much less so for 2024. Makes for an interesting discussion as they get ready to do their rates. And then you can take a look here at what the Fed thinks in terms of the inflation rate going forward and the unemployment rate. Fed is much higher in most cases, except for in 2024, economists think we're going to see a much higher unemployment rate. But at this point, the Fed has all these numbers to deal with, and as Tiffany said, the possibilities of a lot of things going wrong in the back half of the year. So it's going to be an interesting meeting. They don't put out new forecasts, but it'll be interesting to see what Jay Powell has to say about it.
That's the key caveat with the IMF forecasts all the time, Mike. You read them out and then you say, does anyone care? Mike McKee on the IMF forecast from the International Monetary Fund.